Okay, here we go. Click over here to import stuff. Control I brings up your quick import file. I already selected video, so I'm gonna go ahead and select a audio now. Okay, over here it says frames. This is your FPS of the clip itself. So if I go ahead and I just drag it in here, composition is already made based off of the first video that was imported. So to go ahead and change that over to 30 frames, you go to composition settings, frames per second, 29.97. There you go. Go ahead and put in the audio. This is how you control like the actual workspace, like the loop of it. So like where it starts and where it ends when you're rendering. Here I have my audio selected. You just double tap L to bring up the waveform. This is what you use to zoom in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Another thing, if your audio looks weird and it's all like super high levels, you're just going to go ahead and right click over the composition and you see this rectified audio waveforms. It'll usually be on. Just going to go ahead and turn that off. This is your resolution of the preview. The lower it is, the easier it'll be to RAM preview your video. So third or quarter is usually best, but it does make everything pixelated. This is how you change like the size. Usually go ahead and do fit up to 100, so it'll fit whatever this workspace is here. So while you're on the audio, go and you place your marker where a beat is, and if you have a keypad, you can go ahead and hit the asterisk or the star, you know, and that'll place a key or place a marker. Sorry. Quick delete a marker, control click, and if you don't have a numpad, go ahead, click this button right here and drag it to wherever the beat is at. So say I make a beat here, say the next one's here. That's where you lay your clip. But anyway, to turn off the audio for your clip, right here, click that. Audio for the clip is off. To turn off the visuals, click the I. So I usually turn off the audio as soon as I get into it. The screen bar is your RAM preview. So every time you hit play, it'll attempt to RAM preview through. And so as you can see, it'll try and queue up in front of it. And if this gets too far ahead, then the video could slow down. So that's pretty much basic. So now I just need to go ahead and find a clip, or part of the clip. So right here, when he's walking in, go ahead and click on your video. Control Shift D is to make a quick cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete the rest of this. Now to quick drag to a marker you have placed down, just a little snap while you're controlling.
Night, bud.
Night. While you're controlling, go ahead and hold Shift, and it'll automatically snap the points that you have. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the end where I wanted to cut again. So I'll cut here. Control Shift D. Now, this is the weird part. Go ahead and once you have this clip, click it, right click, pre-compose. Select this first one, leave all attributes. Okay? So now it'll be brown or whatever other color it pops up as. That's how you know it's pre-comped. Now, you place your marker at the beginning of the clip, double click. On your keyboard, you're going to hit B to mark the beginning. Go back up here. Go back to the pre-comped. Go to the last frame before, So as you can see, this is black. You want to go a frame before. Go ahead and double click again, hit end this time to mark the end. So now you have the part of the clip selected in pre-count. Now I'm going to go up here, I'm going to type in my Twixtor. I have my Twixtor preset right here. Just go ahead and look at the settings. Your main one is going to be your input frame rate. You want it to match the frame rate of the anime, which is here. So if your clip is 30 frames, you would change this to 30 frames. But I know that it is 23.976. So go ahead and match that up, 23.976. You can copy all this. Another big one is warping. You want this forward and motion weighted blend. Okay, so now that you have that on, that's all you have to do. Right click, pre-compose again. This time move all attributes in a new comp. Good. Now this will be brown. Now you're going to go ahead and go back to the beginning. Now go to the first frame, or the first part of the clip. You're going to go ahead and click Control-Alt-T to bring up time remap. And then at the beginning of that clip, you're going to go ahead and hit this keyframe. Go to the last where it goes blank, go back one keyframe. You can go one frame, or you can go back and forward a frame by Control and arrow keys. Other than that, you just kind of got to scroll if you don't. So go to that last frame, keyframe. Now you're gonna go ahead and select this whole thing. Not the whole thing, just those 2 points that you marked. Or my bad, not yet. You're gonna go ahead and drag the end of the clip to the end of your marker. So this is where the audio is at. So now you can see it is matched up, and you're gonna go ahead and grab that keyframe, bring it in, and you can see that they're lined up. You want it one frame before. So now you're gonna go ahead and select them both just by clicking and making a little box that overlaps them, and you can see now that they're blue because they're selected. You're gonna go ahead and hit F9 to easy ease. You can always right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Now that it's easy eased, go ahead and select them again. You're gonna click this, it's your graph editor, and if it doesn't pop up like this, I believe, you change it from edit speed graph to edit value graph. This will automatically zoom the graph height, so if something seems weird, you're just going to go ahead and click that and it should automatically resize it. I usually turn it off once it's selected. Go ahead and zoom in, grab this bottom point, bring it up, this point, bring it down, but you don't want this to drop below the center, otherwise it'll go in reverse. Just kind of mess around with that. So that should be good. Go ahead and unclick. So now you have your time remap done for this clip. Go ahead and preview this. It's not bad. You can always mess around with the graph editor if something doesn't seem right, but this is your base for how you want it to look. Now for scales, go ahead and hit S for scale, keyframe the first part, go to the middle, keyframe the second part, go one frame before the end, keyframe. Now you can do this like so, 130, 100, 130. Go ahead and select all the points again. F9 for easy ease. Graph editor. If it doesn't pop up, just go ahead and click this. Unclick. This will pop up. Go ahead and click this point, top left. Bring it down. You don't want it to go past the bottom. Go ahead and bring it there. This one goes out to match. Here. And here. So now you have this bowl looking shape. That's kind of what you want. So now if we go ahead and run preview this, as you can see, starts zoomed in, zooms out, zooms back in at the end. Now if you want to go opposite, of course, you start off, you go 100. This is how you move between the keyframe points. So say I wanted 100, 130, back to 100. So you're starting normal zoom, zoom in, zoom out. So now you go ahead and select this again. You don't have to ease these because they're already easy eased. But now you're going to get something kind of weird looking like this. These points are going to be way below, and it'll be up high. So if you wanted to fix it, say you didn't like the scaling before, go ahead and click, grab that point, move it back up to meet. Like so. So now you have it in a reverse way. So normal, zoom in, zoom out. That's pretty much the basics for Eclipse. That's what you're just going to want to do with everyone. Now, adjustment layers, Control Alt Y makes a new adjustment layer. You're going to go ahead and put that over everything. Line it up at the beginning of your clip, Control Shift D, my bad. Cut, go to the end, Control Shift D. I'm just going to go ahead for purposes, delete these two ends. So now you have your adjustment layer that's over top. This is where you're going to put your effects. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to shake. I use Twitch for shake. I use this preset. So now you always want to make sure that this is lined up at the beginning, because if you were to put this in the middle and try to put this on the clip, as you can see, the keyframes will be all messed up and the shake will occur like that. It'll be super weird. So you always want to make sure it's lined up at the front, then throw on your Twitch or your shake. So that's usually what I do. That's how I get my shake. You can always, different things, glows, whatnot that you want to throw on. Now the only thing that you do want to go ahead and put on the actual main clip is your RSMB. This is my RSMB settings. Go ahead and copy that, and that's about it. So we'll go ahead and go through it one more time. Make my keyframe, find a part of the clip that I want. Say I want this right here. Go ahead and use Control and the arrow keys to go forward on my key or on the frames. That should be good. Just some bullshit for this. Zoom back in. First frame. Pre-comp. Leave. Double click. B. Go back. One frame before the end. Go in again. End. Twixtor, match the settings, pre-comp, go ahead, Control T, time remap, mark the beginning, go one frame before the end, mark, and then go ahead and line up the end of the clip and whatnot. It's already lined up, pretty convenient. Select both the keyframe points, F9, easy ease, line this up. Okay, so this is another problem. Say this is super small, because you have keyframes automatically set at the beginning and the end of the video. I'm going to go ahead and click all the way till I get to this 000. Unclick this, go all the way to the end keyframe, click this again. So now I just have the two keyframes that I want. Go ahead and reselect them. Now all I have is those. Go ahead, up, down, ask for scale, click, I usually do, say, 140, 100, one keyframe before the end, back to 140, select them all. F9 for easies. Click this. Zoom in. Down. Left. Down. Right. I have this. Not bad. It's kind of too much movement. Twix is getting all fucked up. That's what you use your SMB for. Let's fix it. Not bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you would extend this adjustment layer. Control Shift D, split it. Go in. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this Twitch off here. I'll use a different shake. See the difference. I know you can see the difference in something like that. Maybe not. Damn. Really gotta get in depth here. So yeah, that's about it. That's all you gotta do. Not very hard. Once you get the flow down, it's pretty easy.